But it is dark. Do you want to lighten it up? To have her take off her.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see. What does it look like? Here we are.
Taking off our
Oh, you turn out to be that kind of party.
I know.
I think that brightens it up. What do you think?
Yep.
And it matches your glasses. Jeannie, Amber, you plan this way too.
Maybe turn that light head just a little bit more
This way or?
towards.
While they're adjusting lights,
Right there, perfect.
you guys can go ahead and just,
That's good.
we're rolling, right?
We're good. Yep.
Just go ahead and state your name and what department you work for. Go ahead.
I'm Amber Simonson. I work in marketing.
I'm Teresa Cato on the people team.
And explain how you guys know each other.
Amber does a lot of work for our women's business resource group, and so that's how I got connected with her early on. And the diversity and inclusion team, part of our people team, works very closely with our business resource groups.
Nice, nice. Just because I would want someone to tell me, but I have your necklace just showing the thing. Thank you. There you go. We'll edit all that fun stuff out. So we're talking about the fruit and cheese platter today.
Yep.
And before we get started, I want to know, what is your general philosophy about, everyone's got an opinion on the fruit and cheese platter. What is your general philosophy? Teresa, you want to go first?
My general philosophy on
How to eat
and
it.
how to eat it. I'm very meticulous. I want every bite to be perfect. Has to have the perfect ratio. I really do have a system. It's kind of intense.
That's good. I'm all about divide and conquer. So I usually share it with either my child or my husband. And so we divvy it up very precisely. Like
You share it?
We do. We share it because we usually get that plus a picnic pack to make for a complete meal. And it's delicious that way. And we each get what we like.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's nice of you to share.
I know.
Sure.
Eat it all on my own.
Okay, so I'm going to hand these to you guys, and before you open, we are going to have you dive in just like you do on board, like how, what do you eat first, how do you divvy it up, and just kind of walk us through it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, at the same time.
Yeah.
Depends. Like, am I on like a
We're on
short San Francisco flight? Then I'm.
Is it different?
Well, because you need to have time. Like.
Imagine we have time, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna pretend like I'm divvying with my youngest daughter. The crackers and cheese.
So usually there is the fork and knife, and I would take the cheese and divide those.
Oh.
Yeah, because again, I have to have like every bite has to have a piece of cheese and a piece of fruit.
I love this. How's the ratio for you?
It depends on the cheese, because if it's a little bit more sharp, then I want to have the grape to kind of balance it out.
Yeah.
I don't. How are you dividing this among your kids?
So
and
this
your
is what I
family?
would normally share with my daughter.
Oh, okay.
'Cause she's a huge Tillamook fan, and she loves the crackers, but she needs a little bit of fruit. And then for me, I love the brie and the beechers, and so I usually try to make like a little, like, can we cut into it?
Yeah.
Oh, there is the knife.
So,
Sorry.
yeah,
I'm
so
used
make
to
like
it
a
being in
little
the separate thing.
Brie
Okay.
sandwich on my apple. And then, yes, I hear what you're saying, because then I alternate this with grapes and beechers.
Yeah.
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 Gotta mix it up.
You do have to mix it up. It's so funny because you would think that nobody puts that much thought into eating a cheese and fruit platter, but there
Oh
really
yeah,
is a
it's
method.
critical.
Well, especially if you're sharing it. I'm
Well, if
not
you're sharing, yeah, you have to
it.
pre-plan. So yeah, you'd have like maybe.
If it was a really long flight, I would really, I'm not joking you, I would cut these in half because I don't want it to slide off of the cracker, especially if there's turbulence. I still want to make sure that I have, so I divide it, and then I would go like, well, the cheese because it's flat, and then I put this on top, and then there's that first
Oh, that's
bite.
good.
and then I would put a different cheese and a different piece of fruit on this other one.
Oh, I like it.
So like, oh, and I supposed to eat it?
Yeah, are we supposed to eat it? Okay. I was gonna say, this looks so good.
Mm. So you never use the crackers?
I don't use the crackers. I don't know if I should. I can't eat gluten. So that works out really well.
That does work. I was about to say, just for our gluten-free passengers.
That's right. I actually really like it this way though. You know what's really good? If you're in premium class with the nut mix. So good. So then you take the
you
nut
do.
mix and you like shove it into the brie. And then cut it up and put it on your apple.
I'm gonna just try that.
So good.
Now you got me thinking about the bark,
Oh.
the chocolate.
Ooh, I like where you're going.
And then you can put like a piece of cheese or a piece of fruit on that
This is
one.
great.
That one
Yeah.
actually would be good.
I'm telling you, this thing in premium class though, with a nice glass of red wine, is so good. Especially with that.
Okay, so now this bite is gonna be too big, so I have to do it in steps because I don't want to bite down at the same time.
Yeah.
Because again, I want the mix. So I'll hold this into my mouth for a couple seconds until I can shove the cheese in at the same time. This is
I like
this
it.
is way too much information
I know.
on how I eat this. But
Yeah, it's okay.
So detailed.
Mm-hmm.
So you talked about sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Trista, do you not ever share? Is it like, this is mine?
This is mine. This is mine. And if my husband, if he is like sitting ahead of me, he has to buy it first and then pass it back to me quickly because I can't wait that long. And I don't want them to run out because usually when you're non-revving, sometimes we're in the back because we have like so many people non-revving with us because we have 3 kids. And I don't want them to run out by the time they get to me. So if one of us is ahead, it's very methodical, which is great that we have like the free texting. And I'm like, oh, don't forget my fruit and cheese platter. Oh my goodness.
I love this. I will say though, I do a weird thing with the chocolate. So the chocolate's really cold when you first get it, and so I always used to just stick it in my pocket really quick. Except one time I forgot.
Oh no.
It got really too hot and squishy. But I do like it when it's like room temperature chocolate.
Got it.
So,
No, I
yeah.
actually don't eat the chocolate.
You're kidding me. It's so good.
You know, usually I will offer it to one of the kids since I don't share the rest of the
So you
stuff.
do share the chocolate. You see,
I will share
don't
the chocolate.
Share the chocolate.
You
I
want
should
my
mention
chocolate?
too. Yeah, thank you. I should say too, if I am sharing with my kids, it's more like this because they want the actual like
the tray.
Yeah, and then I'll eat out of the lid.
Got it.
Why do they want the tray?
Because it feels like it's their meal, so I actually have the flight attendant give it to them, so it's theirs, and then I take out my cheese and fruit.
I like that philosophy.
You know, it works pretty well.
I am shocked that you share. How many people do you share?
Just
tray?
one. It's whoever I'm
Okay.
sitting next to. If it's my
Oh.
husband, I share with him. If it's typically one of my kids, I share with them. But
Got
yeah,
it.
no, we're not going beyond 2 people here.
What if, I was gonna say, what if both kids are sitting with you?
I think they get kids packs then. I haven't had that scenario.
You know what?
Uh-huh.
My oldest will eat this, but I'm pretty sure my youngest will share one with my husband because she can't eat all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna share. They can get their own stuff.
I will say though, the tapas pack with this, if you're sharing, because then I can have the olives with this. It's so good, and the almonds. Again, shove the almonds in here, make a little mix. The dried apricots.
You've really
They're so
inspired
good.
me
You gotta branch out.
because now I'm thinking if I got the deli pack,
Ooh.
then I could put the meat
Yeah.
with the cheese. Because I like the Tim Cascade chips, like those are really good.
Those are good.
But I like to eat those plain. But all of this together, and then they have the rosemary crackers usually. But then I could extend all this cheese because this isn't enough for all the perfect bites.
Yeah. You heard we're adding a cracker, right?
Right. We are?
We are.
Well then,
There we go.
here we go. But
got up
now I
the
just need to
ratio.
get meat. And I'll be good to go. I'm still eating.
It's okay.
So after hearing about the different ways that you guys eat this. You just mentioned that you're inspired, but what specifically has the other person inspired you to try next time?
Well, the mix and matching for one thing. Like, yeah, totally. I didn't think about getting other foods and kind of like making it a meal.
It's very good.
I just eat it within reason. Oh my gosh, now I really am gonna get the jelly pack and
That's
mix
right.
in some meat in here. Okay.
Change your flight.
Yeah, I gotta make sure it's the right flight that's gonna serve it.
Amber, are you inspired by the perfect bite?
I have so much respect for the perfect bite. I don't have that kind of patience. I love it. Plus, I'm usually watching a movie, so yeah. I'm
That's
probably not
true.
paying that close attention to my cheese to fruit ratios.
And like I said, it depends on the flight. If I'm going to the East Coast, but on those shorter flights, I'm not gonna cut the grapes.
You're not gonna cut the grapes, yeah.
Oh my goodness, I can just picture everybody shaking their head when they see that I'm cutting everything.
You got everything, yeah.
Have you ever sat next to somebody eating it? I'll try that again. Have you ever sat next to anybody eating the fruit and cheese platter and like kind of spy on how they eat it?
I haven't,
Yeah.
just because, I mean, just like Amber just stated, usually I'm watching something or I have my phone out and just paying attention, and I'm creating the perfect bite. I mean, I can't pay attention to the other.
That's true. I have seen people take like the brie. This was actually a really good one, I thought. And they like made little slits in it, and then they took like their apple slices. They made like this really fancy like
Wow.
thing, and they like wedged it in. I thought that I had never seen anything like that. I'm like, how does that work?
That's interesting.
I know. And they did this, and then they like shoved the cracker in here. Like it was like this thing, and then they sliced it and ate it.
You gotta take a picture of that.
I almost, yeah, no, that.
Just the hands.
I know, it's just that.
I
It's
totally
so weird. Can I take your picture of your food?
Oh, it's so hard not to laugh up here because I want the sound to catch. But you guys are great. I'm trying to think. I think we went through all my questions. I mean, great. Am I missing anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I like the idea of mixing, especially when you're flying with kids.
I know,
Or
that's a great
a
idea.
significant other, like,
Yeah.
hey, you order this, I'll order that, and we can like make a magic
Yes.
concoction like the deli one. So I like
Right?
that too.
Telling you
Exactly.
the
You gotta get your
tapas.
protein in there, and
Oh, those
I'm all about
olives.
it.
The olives are
The
so
olives
good.
are
The olives are
They're
good.
really good.
Those are really good.
Well, I'm with you. I'm gluten free, so I don't eat the crackers. But the tapas
Okay.
pack,
Yeah.
I use the chips
Yes.
for my televac.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff.
So to brie or not to brie, you both brie?
Oh,
brie.
yeah.
So
Everything.
this
Do you
is
rind? Do you-
No, I don't. I mean, it depends. I do kind of like scoop in there, but
Oh, that's interesting. So my husband doesn't brie at all. And so if I'm sharing with him, it looks a whole lot more like the only cheese left here is like half a piece of Tillamook that I can wrestle away from him, and the brie and some fruit. So yeah.
But the brie is always yours.
The brie is always mine, yeah, regardless of who I'm with.
it's all mine.
Yeah. I'll make sure I don't sit next to you.
You might get a text message.
Mm-hmm.
Amber, can you please get one from you
Yeah.
really quickly? I'm in row 28. While you're in
Walk it
premium
back.
class. While you're in
While I'm
premium
premium
class,
class.
can you please send one back to me?
Yeah, that would be so good.
Yeah.
I might give you some of my snack mix. Who
I-
knows?
I would totally. I'll switch with you.
Yeah.
And cut.
Yay.
Awesome.